Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we've come to know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew. It got named by one of the players. And this one's located on the north spawn of Lakeville and is under the command of Worldtanker24. Now, I don't know if you're a follower of the channel The General. It's our sister channel where you get to watch replays without any commentary whatsoever. And this is one of the battles from that channel. Yes, we've had a couple of Arty replays. In fact, not just a couple. I think we've got more coming up. Anyway, the 105 leFH18B2 is a combination of a Char B1, the French Tier 4 Premium, or not Premium, it's a heavy tank. And at least I think it's Tier 4. And of course a German Arty, the 105 light field howitzer. Okay, dialing in on what was an M5A1 Stuart seen in that corner. You can see he's got a reload time of 7.68 seconds. Didn't seem to get any shots on that Stuart, but he actually decided to give up on it and tried to go after the T-3485 but couldn't get shots. He's gone back to the town because another couple of tanks have appeared now. Got a KV-1 and we've got a Panzer IV Fünf, or Fünf-4 I should say actually. It's a 4.5 or 5.4. Okay, well there is that KV-1 down there. And no, he's decided he's going to go back to the valley again. He's hoping that somebody will appear so he could actually start shooting at them. And now he's going to counter battery because there is an enemy Arty on their team. It's an M41 HMC. And he's looking for any tracer. We'll give him a clue as to where the enemy Arty is. Nothing really much he can fire at the moment. But he is anxious to get a shot in. There's that Panzer Fünf-4. And before his shell arrives, the enemy tank gets wiped out. Or does he? No, there's the Fünf-4. Rounds out on him. Just hits the building. Rounds out. Oh, he gets that kill. Yep. Hit the engine bay and that's the end of his tank. T-52 and a Hellcat. I think he's going to go for the Hellcat first. Fires around as he's backing up. Looks good. Oh, it's very good. And he got a fire. And the guy's very low on hit points. He's still showing us a light, but the kill comes in from the Excelsior. So yeah, he got the assist on that one. Took a huge number of hit points off that guy. The M5A1 Stuart that was behind the rock has pulled back and he's somewhere over in this corner. There is the T-3485. It's not the premium one, it's the standard one. Going for it. He's marked the target. Guy's gone behind the rock. He obviously knows he's in trouble if he stayed where he was. And oh, that landed right in front of him. Yeah, that probably made him back up a bit. In fact, actually, if he's got Arty warning, that would have made him back up a bit as well. Rounds out as he pulls forward. That shell misses. And now we've spotted one of the enemy tanks in the enemy rear. It's a Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4C. That's the dead toaster to you and me. And it's a dead toaster! Yeah, he got wiped out. That shell must have landed right inside and blew him to pieces. It was a blind shot as well, which is excellent. Oh, that one just missed. Just missed. That guy is really pushing his luck, that T-3485. Oh, and again, but this time round he did hit him because there was no explosion. So he did hit the T-3485, even though the guy appeared seconds later and the shells just land behind him. But there's the kill shot, and it was our T-78 who got the kill. Meanwhile, in the valley, we can see an M8A1 hiding behind that rock, trying to stop our guys from moving down the valley towards him. Oh, beautiful shot on that one. Wiped him out completely with one round. So that's his third kill. Got a couple of enemy tank destroyers. An Su-76G, the Chinese one, and the Marder 38T, the German one. Both moving up at the same time. Su-76G got tracked. Our guys are having to retreat because the tanks that went down the valley trying to get at the enemy were wiped out. And now we just spotted the tracer from the M41. Rounds out. He thinks he's behind that bush, and this probably is, because that's a good forward position. But there's that Su-76G FT coming up to the centre line. Oh, Sab decides to derp him, and it works. But now we're going for the Marder 38T. He fires around in, and no, didn't get that one. See if he can do it with a second shot. Just saw the tracer from the enemy Arty again. Rounds out, misses. I think he did see that. It's actually a little further back this time. Rounds out. Well, nice try, but it didn't work. He's just changing position just a slight bit because the enemy Arty's up to scratch. He might have noticed where our tracers are coming from. And sometimes it helps not to be firing from the very back of the map. Okay, he's noticed this M5A1 Stuart. It was the one that he tried to fire at right at the start of the game and failed to get him. And he's actually getting very close to our cap area. We've got a Wolverine who's spotting him from near the houses. So there he is. Okay, rounds out. Kill shot! Must have gone straight through his armour and wiped him out completely with that round. Now, you know these rounds 105mm do 410 alpha, and they penetrate up to 53mm of armour. And of course, the good thing about the armour on that M5A1 Stuart is very light indeed. The M41 stopped to take a shot, and that could be the end of him. That shell misses, but he's still aiming. So we're dialing in. Rounds out. This should be a perfect kill, and it is. I'm pretty sure that was a penetrating shot on the M41 HMC Gorilla. Now we're going after the Marder 38T as he backs down the valley. And yes, another direct hit. And that is a Top Gun. So he's having a good game so far. He's the high scorer on his team. He's got bombarded on the side of the vehicle. Very apt actually, considering he is bombarding the enemy with shots. Okay, T-34, just behind the tree, dialing in, letting it settle, rounds out. 26 hit points from a splash. He backed up, but he is definitely trying to cover that corner, so he's going to have to come up to the edge just to poke his head round the corner, his turret round the corner, to see what's going on. That might have been a bit of a waste there. You get 50 rounds of ammo on the PP nowadays. It used to be a lot less actually, 42 I remember. They've actually increased the ammo capacity, but they haven't actually changed any of the other data or the configurations or parameters of the PP because of course it was a premium vehicle. They actually sold this to people on the basis that it had those parameters, and of course if they changed those parameters when they did the Arty nerf, I think a lot of people would have been heading to the lawyers or to the courts, and I don't think Wargaming wanted that because they possibly would have been done for trade descriptions as well. So in the end they decided to settle. Okay, that guy is really close. The AMX-12 ton. Oh yes! Very close range shot, but he was seen, but there's no enemy Arty at the other end now, remember, because he's been wiped out. So there's no chance of a counter battery, but it does let the enemy tanks know where we are, and they are they are coming up to the centre line. He gets a hit into the T-34. He's going for another one. Looks overhead. No, that one hit an obstruction before it got to the T-34. There's 3 enemies left. He's got 7 kills now. He's one short of getting a Radley's. The surprising thing is that none of his teammates have managed to get more than 1 kill. He's actually telling his teammates to fall back because I think he wants that T-34 to come up towards the center line so that he can smack the guy. But he can't do that if there's a Stug there, because the Stug is deterring the T-34 from coming closer. What he spotted in the meanwhile is an SAU-40, a Tier 4 French tank destroyer. In fact, not one, 2 SAU-40s coming in this direction. So it looks like he's going to take on both of them. Rounds out the first one. Is a direct hit and a kill. That must have been a penetrating shot. He's got a high caliber and a Radley Waters. Rounds out the second one. It's a direct hit. He's actually loading heat ammo now to go through the armor on these guys. He has to get a direct hit in order to make them work though. He's desperately short on HE. But these heat rounds are very, very potent. They're 350 alpha and they will penetrate a lot of armor. As you can see here, they'll go through 104mm of armor. He fires at the other one and takes him out too. That's 9 kills. I repeat again, no one else on his team has managed to get more than 1 kill other than him. And the T-34 has now come through the pass since the Stug pulled back, and he's loaded an HE round. The Marder goes down to the T-34. He's moving to a position so he can spot the enemy. In fact, at this range, he can probably see him eye to eye. And here comes that T-34. He's badly damaged. He's coming towards us. He must have seen us. He did! And he kills him! And that is a Pools medal. That is incredible. Well, here's the end of battle stats for World Tanker in the 105 leFH18B2. He got an ace tanker in that game, not surprisingly, really. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 19. He got a Pools medal. He took out 10 of the enemy, 2/3 of their team, single-handedly, really. In fact, actually, he also got a Top Gun for getting 6 kills and a High Caliber for getting the most damage in the game overall. And as I said, during the battle, there was nobody else on his team managed to get more than 1 kill. If we look at the team scores, we can see he got 2,702 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the MX-12 ton on the enemy team with 1,207. And then their T-34-85 got 1,165. When it came to kills, he dominated. 10 kills for World Tanker. 3 kills for T-34. 2 kills for the M41 HMC and the Samur SAO-40. He managed to get, yes, they got 2. Anyway, everyone else have got 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, he's right at the very top with 1,330. 787 went to the Excelsior and 678 went to the Panzerkampfwagen via Aus Hydrostadt. Yes, it is via. And when it came to details, 33 shots fired, 13 direct hits, 10 penetrations on the enemy, 8 splash, damage of 2,702 hit points, of which 2,454 were at more than 300 meters. So he did get a bit of close range action, but most of it was done at long range. He damaged 12 of the enemy, killed 10. So there was only 3 enemy tanks he didn't touch in the entire game. And he earned 38,324 credits for the game, 50,000 for personal missions payout. I think that's for the first win of the Dame. This is on a premium account. And after resupply of ammunition and consumables, yes, he was using premium consumables, coffee and croissant to actually speed it up. He ended up with a profit of 67,774 credits overall. 1,330 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 798 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 4,788 experience points altogether. So, yeah, it is possible for Arty to get Pools medals. In fact, it's possible for Arty to get Kolobanov medals as well. I've seen it happen. This one was a particularly good game. He was actually basically carrying his team on his back the whole way, because very few of the rest of his team actually managed to get kills. In fact, as you can see here, only 5 of his teammates actually managed to get a kill during the game. The Excelsior, the Hydrostat, the T-78, the M8A1 and the Sav M43. Everyone else got nothing. They might have got some damage. Only 3 tanks didn't get any damage at all. But you've got to say, when Arty gets that many kills and that much damage, he did definitely carry his team on that one. So let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the north spawn of Cliff, and this time round it's little Scats who's in command. Game started. Well, it looks like he's going to stay in the cap area, or near the cap area. He's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his Arty, so he's obviously been playing this Arty quite a bit. It takes a bit to actually get one of these three marks, because so many people have them now. And a lot of people do play them rather well. Okay, he's looking for his first victim. And he's aiming for the gap on the western passes, where they go up to the donut. Nothing showing up yet. Ah, right, there is an enemy tank down there. It's an M5 Stuart. Rounds out. Oh, it tags him for 31, but it actually landed right next door to him. Bit of splash. Going for the next shot. Hit a kill shot. Oh, it missed. Try again, a leading shot. Yes, this time round he gets him and finishes him off. You'll notice that Little Scats is using nothing but HE in this game. In fact, he's now aiming at a B1 that's being pushed up the hill by an M8A1. Oh, that was a little premature. It was close, but not on him. He's letting it dial in to get good shots, but he's having to lead these targets quite a lot. Rounds out. Just behind the M8A1. B1's taken quite a lot of damage already. I guess he was probably happy that he actually did get a push up the hill, but unfortunately we lost our Panzer III Aslains J. It's taken out by the M8A1. Okay, looking around for another target. Oh, that's cheeky. A T-34 1941 managed to creep up onto the donut, and he's actually firing at our teammates. That's a direct hit for 199. Non-penetrating shot. Can he get another one in? Rounds out. Yes, and it's a kill shot this time. So he's got 2 kills now. No, we can't see any other targets up there, but there is definitely another tank up there, because the VK3001H was seen there, and they got a Wolverine nearby as well. Okay, he's extending his aim. There's the Wolverine, fires the round in, goes back to battle assistant. That shot didn't work, so he's going for another one. Rounds out. That's better. That's a penetrating round on the Wolverine. It must have gone straight through his armour. 359 hit points. That's all he had left. Okay, that P2640 is taking a bit of a risk, but he's using the rocks and the obstructions very carefully to actually avoid being hit. I guess he saw that shot on the Wolverine and didn't want the same thing to happen to him. Okay, rounds out. No. There is an enemy tank down to the western pass, but he actually just got killed. That was the VK3001H. He must have come down and gone around the to the left to our tanks. Gone through the western pass, come out the north side, but there was just too many of our tanks there and he got taken down. Okay, that P2640 is probably still there, but we just can't see him because we've got nobody close enough to actually spot him. We've got a T-34 1941 up on top of the hill, as well as an M8A1. They should be spotting for us. He fires around at the M8A1, but he's not. He changes course and goes in a different direction. And what is he doing? Actually, going out to the edge like that can be a bit dangerous, because if we've got guys up on the hill, he'll be much easier to spot. So he is being clever, that M8A1. He's actually now not spotted by our guys at all. So I think he's using the terrain and possibly that tree to mask his approach. We have got an Su-85 nearby. There he is. Okay, he's in the dip. Rounds out. Just a bit early. Get him as he's backing up. Rounds out. This time I hit him. And, oh, it's a penetrating shot. Low roll, but 333. Makes him a one shot. Rounds out. Oh, he pulls away just to see fine. So we missed the kill. He didn't get the kill after all. But this time round he should. And he does. So 4 kills now. That P2640's moved up on top of the hill. It's still a bit of a problem. You can see there's 2 enemy Artys, a Gorilla and a Fifi on the enemy team, a 105 leFH18B2. And both of them seem to be focusing on the same area. Just having a quick shot at a Stug 3G. And up on top of the hill we've got a T67 who's managed to get up there, and he's just killed not T34 1941, and he's badly damaged our M8A1, so he's now one shot. And the T67s can be very well deadly with their gun. That M8A1's taking a hell of a risk being up there. Looks to me like he's got the 57mm gun. If he stays where he is, he's going to get Arty'd. He's so low on hit points. 1 Arty round. Oh, and I predicted it, didn't I? Yeah. I haven't seen this replay other than when I actually filmed the before, but I didn't remember exactly what happened. Of course, I did film it for the general channel, but I don't put any commentary on it, so I just don't describe what's going on. M8A1 hiding behind a rock. He can fire into that position. He looks away. Oh, but he caught him! He blew him up! That was a direct hit on the M8A1. It wiped him out. Now he's trying to do the same to the Stug. Rounds out. Direct hit on his engine bay for 112. Tries again. And the guy dodges, but he still gets hit. 118. Tracked him. Will we fire before he be able to move? Ah, no, because he was taken out. And that's a Top Gun. Okay, so who's next? There's still 5 enemies out there, 5 left on our team. We've got slightly less hit points than the enemy's got, and it looks to me like Little Scats is only a short distance away from getting his high caliber, because he's only 41 hit points showing up on the mods at the top of the page. If you look at that, I have a mod which actually says how close to a high caliber you are. Rounds out. Misses the P2640. There's a few mods that Arty players tend to carry that ordinary players don't. And we do so because it's actually quite useful. Oh, beautiful shot on the T67. And yes, he has popped over the 20% mark now. So potentially he's got a high caliber. So long as he doesn't damage any of his teammates and he keeps up the damage rate to stop the enemy from scoring more. Rounds out the P26. Direct hit! He did hit him, but because he was unspotted, we don't know how much damage he did. Unfortunately, he's moved from that position since. Now, he could be right on top of that cliff at the moment. We do have a bishop at the bottom of the cliff face, and he might be able to proxy spot that P2640, as well as having a Matilda just at the corner rock. But yeah, that P26 is in a kind of awkward position, and now we've got a Stug Dry Aslains B, the tier 4 version, and he's taking shots at our teammates. We fire around him, and unfortunately he stays behind that tower. And we now can spot the P2640. He's on the cliff face. We can't hit the P at the moment, the Stug. And we have lost one of our teammates, I think. Or did we? No, we didn't. But now we have. There goes the Matilda. He was taken out by the enemy Gorilla. So we're now one below the enemy. Rounds out the Stug. Ah, they evens it up, and that's a Radley Walters. 8 kills. The bishop is very low on hit points. That Stug 3 Aslains B took most of them away. And it looks to me like the P2640 is just above on the cliff, looking down on that bishop. He's moved away from that position because the bishop's not getting a proximity spot at the moment. But there's the enemy Arty, or at least one of them. That's the Fifi. Moving towards the bishop. Rounds out. No, it landed behind, and the Fifi managed to just shotgun the Bishop just like that. Rounds out. Direct hit on the Fifi. Keep the rounds pumping in on him. We've lost sight of him. He's firing on the move. No, that one missed as well. Now we have to look for where he knocks down the fences for any clues to where he is. We can see those stone walls there, the identifiers. And now the enemy Guerrilla's come into sight, so we're going to go after that one. He's on the move. Rounds out. Oh, one shot kill. That must have been a penetrating shot. And he's now been spotted by the P2640, who managed to get very close to the cap. We'd still have a teammate in the Hetzer, but I'm afraid... Oh, the P2640's hit us again. And there's the Fifi. We're auto-aiming onto the Fifi. We should be able to do some damage. Yes, he got him. And that's a Pulse Medal. And the counter battery, I think, because he took out both Arty. He fires another shot at the P2640 after blocking one. The Hetzer doesn't seem to be actually getting involved. And we've just taken another round from the P2640. It's 2 versus 1. My inclination here is to not to actually... Oh, he took out the Hetzer. My inclination was to stay back because that P2640 is low on hit points. But he goes forward and Little Scats is taken out by the P2640. He had so few hit points left, that P26. If he changed position, he might have been able to shotgun him the moment he came up onto the rise and take him out. But it ends up with a loss. So sad. Well, here's the end of battle stats, and that one was another ace tanker, this time for Little Scats in the 105 leFH18B2. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 26, a lot more. He also got a Gauze medal because he did more damage than Worldtanker24 for at least 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Pulse medal for getting at least 10 kills. He got 10 exactly. Counter battery because he took out both enemy Arty, the Fifi and the Gorilla. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. He did get the highest damage in the game, but I'm afraid even that wasn't enough. 2,871 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the Stug 3 Aslains G with 1,447. And the next high score after that was our Bishop with 1,356. When it came to kills, it was Little Scats with 10 kills, 4 kills for the enemy P2640, the only person left alive at the end of the game, and 3 kills for the Stug 3 Aslains G. And when it came to base XP, yeah, I'm afraid it's 865 for... No, 885 for the P2640, sorry. 865 for Little Scats, just behind. I think he got that simply because he did so much damage, got so many kills. Even though he was on the losing team, he still earned enough to get just 20 XP lower than the P26 on the winning team. And the third highest base XP is the Stug 3 Aslains G, who managed to get 646. He fired 41 rounds in that game, got 16 direct hits and 8 penetrations on the enemy, 12 splash. Damage of 2,871 hit points, of which 2,651 were at more than 300 meters. He received 5 hits from the enemy, 3 of those penetrated, 1 non-penetrated, and 1 hit by way of splash damage from the enemy Arty. In fact, if only he changed position, I think the P2640 wouldn't have been able to see him and pop up and shoot at him as he was getting close to the cap area. He just stayed where he was, and unfortunately I think that led to his downfall. 110 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That's the 75mm round from the P2640. Got blocked, I think, on the tracks or on the actual body of the tank. 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 10 killed, and he earned 35,552 credits for the game. 4,050 for the Achievements Award. That's for getting an Epic or Battle Hero medal. He got both in a losing or a drawn game. 59,403 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he actually made a profit of 12,407 credits. 865 XP, 479 for Achievements Award, 806 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 2,822 experience points altogether. So 2 different outcomes for the battle, but both players managed to get pools medals. And well, as you can see, Little Scats did quite a bit better in many ways than Worldtanker24, certainly in terms of medals. But Worldtanker24 literally dominated that game as being the person carrying his team, whereas I'm afraid in this battle, Little Scats was kind of let down towards the end as the enemy managed to make it into the rear area and they weren't able to fend him off, so fend the enemy off so they could he could use his skills to help kill all the enemy. And towards the end it was that P2640 with that 75mm gun. It's very, very good, but I still feel that if Little Scats had pulled back so he wasn't spotted a little further back behind the bushes and changed position just slightly so the P26 couldn't just blindly fire in, then I think he could have waited for that P26 to come up over the edge, trying to get onto the plateau to get to near the cap area, and then he could have killed him with one shot. So I think it was more the case that the P2640 was very clever to not expose himself to Little Scats' shots by just popping up and popping back down again using his good gun depression. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed both replays. If you did, please give these videos a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, do remember that we have a channel called The General where you can watch replays exactly like this without any commentary whatsoever. I put them together, I just run the replay, put them together with the results so you can actually see for yourself exactly what happened. But it's a virgin client, so there's no distractions, no commentary. You just see exactly what the players saw when they actually played the game. And it's not just Arty, it's all sorts of tanks as well. And you'd be surprised at what happens to some of these players. Then some of them, at the start of the battle, they lose all their hit points, but then they have to fight the game on virtually no hit points whatsoever, but they still come away with either the Pools medal or a collar ban off, either a win or a defeat, but they certainly play their hearts out during the game, and some of them get their first Pools medal during that game, and it's very interesting to see the results. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, thank you very much, and thanks for watching.